So this is basically parenteral routes, what is meant by parenteral routes other than enteral. Okay, so what are the advantages of parenteral route over oral route? Bioavailability is faster. Okay, bioavailability is faster and more predictable. Then gastric irritation and vomiting are not provoked. Okay, next is can be used in unconscious, uncooperative, and those having vomiting diarrhea patients. Then no chances of interference by food or digestive enzymes also. Then fast pass metabolism. Drugs with poor oral bioavailability can be given through this route. Okay, so these are the advantages of parenteral route over oral route. So there are various routes of drug administration, like you already know: intravenous, intramuscular, subcutaneous, and intradermal. Injection is an infusion method of putting liquid into the body, usually with a hollow needle and syringe, which is pierced through skin to a sufficient depth for the material to be forced into the body. So the needle varies. Okay, the diameter of the needle varies. We'll see that later. This is the needle gauges. These are the needle gauges. See, this is the 14 gauge, 15, then 18, 20. These are the gauge. Okay. When the number increases, the diameter actually decreases. Okay. See the outer diameter. It has decreased. So for intradermal, we usually use the needle diameter 25 to 27. Okay, gauge. Then length of the needle in inch, and what is the angle for needle injection? It is 5 to 15 degree for intradermal. Then for subcutaneous, the gauge is 23 to 30, and the needle injection angle is 45 to 90. Okay. Intramuscular, we put it in 90 degree. Okay. Typical needle geometries. These are the typical needle geometries for common routes of administration. Then dosage form for parenteral administration. You can see the ampules here. Solutions for IV administration supplied in ampules or vials. Liquids for intramuscular, subcutaneous, intradermal administration can be solutions or suspension of the drug. Some are available as solid powder forms, have to be mixed with water, or some are oily base given IM and called depot preparations. So this is vial or ampule. Which one is vial? Which one is ampule? This is ampule, and this is vial. So what are the differences? Ampule and vial. So ampule actually they possess hermetically sealed neck. You see, the neck is sealed completely. Okay. Vial may be sealed or not. Ampules cannot be reused. You cannot reuse this ampoule. Okay. Vials can be sterilized and used again. This is oddly shaped. The shape is odd, and this is flat shaped. This is a temporary storage. This is for temporary storage purpose or temporary storage vehicle. Its content can be used for or stored for a longer period. It is something, the ampule, it is something which does not have a rubber stopper, and you need to break it to have to access to medication. Okay, you have to break this, otherwise you can't access. And in this case, in the case of this vial, there is a rubber stopper that you put your needle into for getting access to the liquid. So these are some differences, and we'll see some checklist here. Okay, before going for the practical, see how to aspiration from ampule and vial. Okay, aspirating from ampules, glass or plastic. This is the checklist for intramuscular injection. What points you will be observing? These are the points, and the examiner will be giving you marks for that. Okay, specific purpose. First, you introduce yourself to the patient and explain the procedure. You introduce yourself and then explain what procedure you are going to perform, either whether it is intramuscular or intradermal. okay, or subcutaneous, whatever it is. This reduces what? Patient anxiety and patient instigates patient cooperation. Okay. Then obtain informed consent, take a informed consent, then apply aseptic procedure and wear gloves. Okay. Then you have to select the site for injection after locating the anatomical landmark. Select the site for injection, then clean the area with spirit swab. Okay. Center to outward. Then check the medicine level. Then draw the drug in the given syringe, remove all air bubble. You have to remove all the air bubble. Then insert the syringe at 90 degree and draw the piston backwards, the plunger or the piston. Okay. Inject the medicine slowly into the muscle. Then grid the patient and check for bleeding. Okay. When you put the needle in 90 degree angle, after that you have to see by aspirating whether blood has come or not. If you see blood, then you immediately pull it out. Okay. And the purpose of the intramuscular is to what? Where to put the needle? Inside the muscle belly. So an intramuscular injection, as you can see in this figure below, delivers medication deep into the muscle tissue. This allows the medication to be quickly absorbed into the bloodstream for action. Okay. This is the epidermis, then below it is the dermis. This is the subcutaneous tissue, and here it is the muscle. Okay. You have to inject it in the muscle belly at an angle of 90 degree. Okay. So what are the advantages, disadvantages and examples? What are the advantages? Absorption more predictable. Okay. Less variable, rapid compared to oral and subcutaneous route. Then depot injections can also be given. Then there has to be some disadvantages also. What are the disadvantages? Yes, perfect aseptic conditions needed. Okay, chances of abscess at site of injection. Then there is also chance of nerve damage leading to paresis. Large volume cannot be administered. You cannot inject large volume. What are the examples? Various antibiotics, antiemetics, depot injection, neuroleptics, testosterone. Okay. So these are the advantages, disadvantages and examples of intramuscular injection. You see, these are the sites. These are the sites for intramuscular injection. Here is the deltoid muscle. Then here is the vastus. This is the rectus femoris. Okay. This is the vastus lateralis in the lateral side. You can see. Then vastus medialis. So vastus lateralis and rectus femoris. Then this is not recommended. Why? Dorsogluteal is not recommended for intramuscular injection. Can you tell me why? Why is it not recommended? It is to be, maybe earlier it was in practice, but not now. Not now recommended. Why? Yes, sciatic nerve injury. Okay, so this is not the correct route. Then ventrogluteal. This is the iliac crest, anterior superior iliac spine is there. You have to place your thumb and then inject accordingly. Okay. See, this is the intramuscular injection provided at an angle of 90 degree, injected at an angle of 90 degree, skin, subcutaneous tissue, then inside the muscle belly. Clear? So you have to first locate the acromial, okay, acromial process, then deltoid muscle. Into the deltoid muscle, locate the lower edge of the acromial process. Then insert the needle 1 to 2 finger below the acromial process at a 90 degree angle. If you are giving in vastus lateralis and rectus femoris sites, then find the lateral quadriceps muscle for the vastus lateralis or the anterior thigh for the rectus femoris. Okay. Then inserting the needle at a similar angle. Then there is dorsogluteal site. In the dorsogluteal site, we are not giving anymore. Okay, just now mentioned. Then ventrogluteal site. With the palm of your hand, locate the greater trochanter of the femur. Then you spread your index and middle finger posteriorly from the anterior superior iliac spine to the farthest area possible. This is the correct injection site. Then remove your fingers and insert the needle at a 90 degree angle. Okay, so these are the sites for intramuscular injection. Then you have to take some precaution before giving the injection. Asepsis to prevent contamination. Use always use sterilized needle and syringes. Use distilled and sterile water for injection. Handle the drug and equipment with aseptic technique. You have to also clean the injection site with spirit. During transportation of injection, use the needle guard or protector, otherwise it can prick you back. First, you have to learn the steps of hand washing. Before performing the procedure, you must clean your hands. These are the 7 steps of hand washing. Okay. So what is the technique for giving the intramuscular injection? First, then gently pull back on the plunger of the syringe to check for blood. You will be aspirating somewhat. If you see any blood, then you immediately pull out. Okay. If no blood appears, inject all of the solution by gently and steadily pushing down the plunger. Withdraw the needle and syringe and press an alcohol swab gently on the spot where the injection was given. This is the technique for giving the intramuscular injection. So same thing, and this is the subcutaneous injection. So in subcutaneous injection, what are the advantages and disadvantages, and what are the examples? The advantages are smooth but slower absorption for longer period of time. Then depot injections or implants can also be given. Then what are the disadvantages? Only small volume can be administered, maximum 1 ml. Irritant drugs cannot be administered, not suitable in case of shock. What are the examples? Local anesthetic for local effect and insulin, vaccines, then heparin is also there. Okay. So these are the sites for subcutaneous injection. You see the lateral aspect of lower part of the upper arm. Okay. Abdomen in the umbilical region, mostly insulin injections can be given here. Thighs, then back, lower loins. This is the technique, lifted skin fold technique. You have to lift the skin between the thumb and 2 fingers with one hand, pulling the skin and fat away from the underlying muscle. Okay, so you put it at an angle of 45 degree. The purpose is to provide it in the subcutaneous tissue. Okay, so these are the sites, this is the technique, and this is the purpose in subcutaneous tissue. Same checklist. You will be given marks for this, for correctly doing all this. Introduce yourself to the patient first and explain the procedure. Obtain an informed consent. Apply aseptic procedure and wear gloves. Select the site. Clean the area. Check medicine level. Draw the drug in the given syringe. Remove all air bubble. Insert the syringe at an angle of 45 degree under the subcutaneous tissue. Pour the drug slowly and look for any spillage. Then it's complete. Greet the patient and check for bleeding. So these are the various angles for administration of injection. You see intramuscular is 90 degree, subcutaneous 45, IV is 25 degree, intradermal 10 to 15. Okay. So today we will not be doing the IV part, IV and the intradermal part. Today we will be focusing on intramuscular and subcutaneous injection only. Okay. Let's proceed to the practical lab class. And there is the axillary line. Draw an imaginary axillary line. Okay. From like so that you can put the hand like this in the triangle. Okay. After that, you clean the area with a swab. Okay. You have to clean the area with swab. After putting the gloves, I am just showing you. It has to be inward to outside like this. Okay. Not from outside to inside. Inward to outside like this. Okay. Then you drop it. After that, you take the syringe. I'm just taking it from here because there is no other. Just aspirate some. Okay. You can also do this. So since we are giving it in the deltoid muscle, we will not be giving much. Okay. Okay. Now you Air must be removed. Okay, the air bubbles. Okay. Now at an angle of 90 degree. Okay, at an angle of 90 degree, as I showed you earlier, like this you hold, and then you put it like this. Okay, it's not going more, and then you have to aspirate like this. You pull the plunger. You have to see whether blood is coming. If blood is coming, you immediately remove the needle. Okay, then you slowly